Hello again, Dan Alasso, making history, and it's day 21, so a full 2 weeks since the retrenchment began. And that means I think I have 260 days to go. So, how about that? There really is no retrenchment news today, which personally I think is a bit of a relief. It's the third day of classes. So I guess I can't expect things to really move as quickly at BSU as they are in kind of my own head. Hopefully things didn't move that slow, and the controller that drives the projector in the lecture hall that I'll be using again this morning at 10 o'clock has been fixed or has been reprogrammed as was promised. I'll go in a bit early to make sure. I did not get the promised email from IT services letting me know of the outcome and what was done. If it's not working, I will tell my students to watch the lecture video that I include in the section header of the ebook. So at least I've got that going for me. I have that content in an audio-visual format. I can talk a little bit about it off the top of my head, but I would like them to see some of the images and maps and diagrams and things that I use, that I generally put on my PowerPoint slides. And I'll probably raise a little hell, because since I'm a short timer, I'm probably a little bit less concerned than I ever was, which really wasn't that much, about stepping on toes. On a more positive note, I've been trading emails with my friend in Mankato about planning what I will talk about when I go to this meeting about open education and about reducing textbook costs in late September. Also, I sent my travel request to OE Global to my department chair. I'm going to use some travel research money that I've accumulated over the years that I was planning on using on a research trip to England, actually, once I got tenure and was taking my sabbatical. But now that that won't be happening, I'm going to use it on this conference, this open education conference. Also, I have decided to follow the example that my friend Chris Aldrich has set and own my own identity on the web. So I bought a domain. First time in a couple of years I've done that. I managed to get danalasso.net, and I bought a current copy of Rapid Weaver, which is the Mac-based web design application that I was familiar with and hopefully will be able to relearn. And I'll be putting my own website up in the very near future, hopefully in the next week or two. I'm going to continue posting stuff on Substack and on YouTube, but I will also give it a permanent home on the web as well. An interesting and kind of fun element of this is that when I downloaded the updated Rapid Weaver app, I think it's 9.2 now, and the last one that I used was probably 6.0. Ironically, the new one is called Classic. In any case, when I downloaded this, I was able to open all the old website folders that I still have archived from all the years that I was running my own websites. Holy crap. I have written a lot of book reviews and article reviews and blog posts about all kinds of things. The state of higher education. I was weighing in on that while I was a grad student. All kinds of other topics too over the years. So it's kind of cool to look back at them again and to see what ideas I've had bouncing around in my head for a long time, in a lot of cases longer than I remembered, and how some ideas have changed radically and have developed over time. I will probably create some type of archive for some of that stuff as well, some of that older content, so that I can work with it, because I tend to do this working out loud or with the garage door open, and the garage will be this website. And also, so if people are interested, they don't have to go looking for it on the Wayback Machine. I'll also be using these old web pages that I review and decide whether or not I want to put up in my archive, to kind of remind myself of things that I had identified as interesting topics and said, oh, I'll go back to those later. You may have noticed in some of my book reviews on the historiography page that sometimes I say, this would be an interesting person to follow up on, or this would be an interesting topic to circle back around to. And sometimes I have done that, and other times I have just moved on and one thing led to another and I didn't get back to it. So this will be a good reminder. And a lot of these notes actually are not part of my current note-making content. So I'll also probably begin adding some of this into my Obsidian Vault and see what types of connections this older information is able to form with the stuff that I have in there now, because that may also be interesting and may tell me some things. So you're probably going to begin seeing the results of this evolution in both the historiography section and in the note-making section, and possibly just in some new ideas that surface to the top of my blog as I rethink things that I thought about maybe 5 or maybe even 10 or more years ago. So I hope you will find all of that interesting. In the meantime, thank you very much for tuning in today, and I will see you again tomorrow.